Hey everyone, and it's been another green day. So hope you're all keeping well. I had a good day, and it didn't start off good. That's all I'm saying. But we had a stock that moved up 125%. Most of that during the regular session, and as a result, we've been able to make huge gains. If I'm being completely honest with you, it was a good day. It's the 26th of July today, Tuesday the 26th of July. So what happened? Well, I traded very poor. I'm kind of angry with myself. If I'm being completely honest with things, I'm really angry with myself about how I've traded today. I tried to be a little bit more aggressive right from the off, and the market wasn't conducive to those kind of moves. Well, not at the beginning anyway. And as a result, I found myself in the hole. And I found myself, we traded 5 stocks today. We traded Freight Technologies. We traded Pagaya again. And that was really our saving grace. We traded Redbox, we traded SIGA, and we traded VRAX Biolabs. So those were the 5 stocks that we traded today, and only VRAX Biolabs, which is probably the most difficult one to trade today, was green for us. We went through the full live stream, trading live, the first 2.5 hours, so 90 minutes before the market, an hour after the bell. So the first 2.5 hours of trading, I traded abysmally. My judgment was off. My discipline was very poor. My risk management was, well, what risk management? It was horrible. It was horrible, and I was kicking myself at the level that I was trading at, and I found myself. Well, during the stream, we were at over $13,000 down on the day. So that was a little over 10% of my equity position. So it was a huge, huge red day I was looking at. And then we found ourselves in a red position with Pagaya, and we were going about $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 red with Pagaya, and I was just holding this position, holding it way too long. Gone past my my max loss, gone past my my risk that I put into that particular trade, and then it turned around on us, and we added to the position, and another cardinal sin, averaging down to a losing position, but it worked out for us. We made $8,000 back before we closed the first stream. So we closed the first stream. We were a little over $5,000 in the hole, a little over 5,000 red. We went away, we came back, and it was definitely a game of 2 halves. So we traded the first session. We traded abysmally. It was like we didn't know how to trade. I look back at the live stream now, and you can go and take a look at it yourself. And it was terrible. It was the trading, the risk management wasn't there. The judgment, the entries were actually, the entries in a lot of cases weren't too bad, but when they got faked out, or I didn't take profit when I should have done, and then when it retraced, I was holding the positions too long. I was giving a little bit. I was selecting stocks that had huge range on the spread. It was just all over the place. My trading was all over the place. I just wasn't at the races in the first session. The second session came around, and I traded 1 stock. I concentrated on 1 stock, didn't look at anything else, and I traded Pagaya. And luckily for us, it was because Pagaya was moving. Pagaya moved $10 on the day. So it was 125. It was a little over $10 at the beginning of the start of the day, and it went over $21 during the day. So it was up huge amounts, and we caught most of the move. And because we caught most of the move, we managed to get $27,000 out of Pagaya today. So we traded Freight Technology, we lost 3,000. We traded Redbox, and it just wasn't set up for us. We lost $140. we traded SIGA, which is on the back of the monkeypox, the World Health Organization monkeypox news. So SIGA was still moving up and had a really good day today. So we traded SIGA and we lost 3,000. We were 7,000-8,000 down on PGY, and then it made its move. We got in and we never looked back. So we finished the day 27,000 up on PGY. So we finished overall a little over 21,000 in profit on the day, trade profit on the day. After commissions and charges, a little bit under $20,000 in terms of net profit. But that being said, it's an absolute win. I mean, our daily goal is $5,000, so we're more than four times our daily goal, and from a losing position as well, and from trading badly to trading the one stock that was moving consistently and had huge volatility, volume, and was exhibiting an upwards trend, and we got paid off. I don't think it was because I turned a corner and started trading well. It's just I concentrated on one stock that was moving well. And I think I'm going to have to go back and take a look at myself, take a good look in the mirror about what I was doing in the first session, because I wasn't trading well. My strategy just went out of the window. My risk management was atrocious and overall bad trading. And through luck rather than design, we managed to get a stock that went parabolic and saved the day for us. That doesn't happen all the time. So I could have been facing a $13,000 or even a $20,000 red day today if that stock hadn't gone parabolic and moved up. So that being said, I'll talk you through. I'll show you the stock and its move, and I'll show you a couple of other things that moved that we didn't take advantage of, and enjoy the recap. Before I do that, remember to smash the like button, smash the thumbs up, give it some of that. It just really helps with the algorithm. I do trade every single day, like I say, 90 minutes before the market opens, an hour after the bell, and very often I came back today for power hour, which is the last hour of the market. So I'm very often trading the last hour of the market, streaming live trading on the last hour, trading throughout the day, of course, but I'm going live and streaming my trades live for the first hour of the market and 90 minutes before that and the last hour of the market. Come join me. I'm waffling. I've had a lot of wine. Come join me tomorrow. I'll be doing it again from 8 a.m. East Coast or 8 a.m. market time, and that's 1 p.m. where I'm based in Dublin, or UK. It's 2 p.m. on the continent. Come join me tomorrow, and we'll be doing it all again. Enjoy this recap. So we actually traded Freight Technologies first thing, and it made its move up before I could really get into that. And then we got this pullback. We got in and made some profit. We traded this range between the VWAP and kind of 255, 260 a couple of times, and made a profit. We were actually like $400 or $500 to the good before the open, and then we got to the open, and well, it didn't work out for us at the open. It's probably the easiest way of putting it. It started to make a move up, and as it pulled back, it then made another move up, and we got in for the break of the opening candle high. We got in for a break of new highs, and it then pulled all the way back. So we actually got out for 35% loss. So we ended up $3,000 down on that. And so not a good start to the day. We traded Redbox, and we traded Redbox pre-market actually, and we got this move up. We got a move up, a break of the VWAP, and we entered for the break of the VWAP, for the break of 640, but we actually got a really bad fill, and it's 648 we got filled, and it moved up and then pulled back, and that was kind of it with Redbox for the day. He spent the rest of the day doing what's known as the VWAP fade, coming back up to the VWAP, tapping the VWAP, fading away. It did that a few times, come up, break the VWAP, fade away, sell off. tap the VWAP, fade away, sell off. And it did that throughout the day there, as you can see, and never really recovered on the day. So red box went red, hence no pun intended, but it went red on the day before coming into the last hour of the market, before it then started to rally and broke back above the VWAP before then selling off again. So not a great stock to trade. We lost a little bit on red box pre-market. Then we traded. This was a difficult one to trade. VRAX Biolabs, and we got in here. We had this move up, and then we got it. It pulled back, and then we moved up, and we got in here. This was our very rangy, very wide spreads, and this is the problem with it. Is the huge wide spreads. It didn't make a move up and then pull back down again, but we were kind of, the move up was on the ask, not the bid. Didn't take the bid with it. The pullback was on the bid, didn't take the ask with it. So I was kind of caught between the spreads. And we were in at 22.50, and the range between kind of $22, it went up, the range at one stage was over $1. So I was still in at 22.50. The bid was 22.40, and the ask was over $23. And I'm kind of thinking, well, how do I get out of this? I couldn't average down for a better position because the ask was much higher than my average cost was at the time, and I couldn't trade it up to get out. I couldn't wait for the move to get out. Eventually, the ask started to the spread started to narrow. The ask started to climb up towards the bid, and we got out for $500. Difficult one to trade, and good news. It was that they would developed a PCR test for monkeypox. Decent catalyst, but just the volume was low. The spreads, it was because of the low volume. It was or relative low volume. The spreads were just huge, and that's another fact that you've got to take into account. If you get something that's moving up, and this did move up, it moved up quite a lot on the day, but the spreads weren't worth the risk, is what I'm saying. We were risking more than we stood to gain, and that was pretty much what we were doing all day. We were risking more than we actually stood to gain. It was the same with Pagaya, and we were trading Pagaya. We got in. Our first trade was coming up to the top of the hour at 9 a.m. So on this move up, that was our first trade, and we got in at the top. So we were looking for the break of the whole dollar of 12, and we actually got a really bad fill. And we got in at 12.24, and it started to pull back, and it pulled all the way back below 12, and we just had to cut for a loss. So I think we lost about 50 cents on the share there. So that was kind of, we held on this way too long. The pullback here is fine, but once we made new lows, we should have been out. So we should have been out around 11.90, and we were out at 11.76. Not a good trade. Not a good trade at all. We traded it again. Started to make a move up. We looked for a bounce on the VWAP, not the break of new highs. So we got a move and then a bounce on the VWAP. So we entered for a move up, 11.70, and it pulled back even further. So we got out 11.30. 40 cents we lost on that. Not a good trade either. Bad judgment. It consolidated a little bit, but bad judgment on my part, bad trading on my part. Missed the whole consolidation piece. I missed this breaker. I was watching it, missed the breaker, and instead of getting in here for the break of the $0.50, or for the break of new highs, which would have been 11.46, but the break of $0.50 would have been acceptable. We got out. We actually got in here at 11.75. So not a good entry. However, we did make money on this trade. We rode this up, added to the position, took profits up at the top of this candle. When it pulled all the way back, we took a dip buy. And we added to the position here before riding it up and taking profit there. Came all the way back down. We then got in here and rode it up, took profits a little bit. We didn't get the high, but we took profits here. And then as it started to make its way back up again, we added to the position. Didn't wait for a new high. Didn't wait for, I guess it would say it was a break of $12. I don't know what was going through my mind at the time. But it pulled back. And instead of exiting the position for the first candle to break a new low, we actually added to our position. And I think that was by mistake, but I didn't exit the position there. We actually held it right through. We were holding and we held it way too long. It broke the VWAP down and it came into the open and started to sell off. So we exited the position down here. Very, very poor trade. My judgment was off to start off with. It's probably an understatement. It really is. But it didn't get any better. We continued to trade this and trade it badly. So we waited for the move up. We got the break over the VWAP and the move up. And we got in at 1165. That's here. And it flushed. But we didn't get out. We should have got out there, cut our losses. We should have actually got out for the break of the VWAP. Worst case scenario, we should have got out new lows here at 1130. We didn't. We held. And you know, we lost almost a whole dollar on this move. So my trading was very poor to start off with. We added to the position down here, in fact, which speaks volumes. Just not very good at all in terms of that original trade. And it took me, we were in the hole to the tune of 13,000 in total at this stage. We did get a little bit of a pop just after 10:30, I think it was. We got this pop. I missed it. I was looking at other things, dealing with other things, and then as we broke the VWAP here, so we're looking for the break of the we're looking at the move up, looking for the break of the VWAP. I got in here again, not trading very well, but I got in here, and that trade was 5,000 shares. It pulled back, moved up. We had the opportunity to take profits. We didn't. It pulled back and we took profits here. So not taking profits up there, taking profits here, just makes no sense at all. Then we got a nice little move here. And I didn't get the early part of it. So we got the move up, we got the pullback, and we got in here for the break of new highs. Bit of a bull flag scenario. So this is where we started to make our comeback. We added to our position on the way up, took our first profit, and then we exited our position as well, got stopped out, if you will, on the way back down. Then, as we made new highs, we entered again, re-entered the position. We went big, and we went in for 15,000 shares. We did 5,000, then we went another 5, and then another 5. It pulled all the way back. We added another 5,000 here, and we held through a little bit of consolidation. Not ideal scenario, but then we exited on this candle here for a small profit. We then, as this pulled back, we then entered for new highs. So not even a bull flag, but pull back, enter for new highs. Faked out, went against us, but we held. And the thing is, though, with this new highs, we then went up there and we took profit on the way up. We got we didn't get filled quite away, so we actually took profit on the way up to 1320s. So all in all, my judgment wasn't great. My overall trading performance wasn't great. The fact that we got this move up was the only reason that we weren't 5 figures in the red when I ended the live stream. This move up effectively gave us, and we were moving up, adding to the position, taking off, trailing stop loss. The only reason that we got this move up, we got about $8,000 worth of profit on that, so that took it off, left us with $5,000 in the hole. I'm not feeling good at this stage, not feeling good at all. But we had that move up, and I would say that when I came back, went for a walk with the dog, and I came back just after 12 market time, and this is what happened. So we had this move up just after 12 p.m. ish, and then a pullback, consolidation period, and this is where we got in. So we got this consolidation period, a little bit of support, and we got in here for, no, it was actually here. So we got this move up, pullback, and then we got in for this fake out. But okay, change of sentiment. We've got a doji, and a new candle makes a new high. So I'm figuring we'll get a breakout here. So I entered the position there. It faked us out, pulled back. I added for the on this position a bounce on the 9 EMA, and then as it moved up, so it's 5,000 shares a piece. As it moved up, I took some profits, 2,500 shares off there. It was moved up here. I took another 2,500 off. Took another 2,500 off here before adding 5,000 back. It pulled back, and then we rolled this all the way up. So this was the start of the comeback, if you will, and we got stopped out on this doji here. So we got stopped out. So start of the comeback, we did get back in just before 1 o'clock. So this one here, pull back. We got in here. This was a perfect move. We got over $1 on this move. 17.92 is what I got in. I thought it was 17.74, but 17.92 we got in. We got a whole $1.08 move up, and we got stopped out. We had a 30-cent stop, and we got stopped out on this this candle here. So that was again 5,000 shares. So over $1 move, another 5,000. That took us green. Not just green on Pagaya, but that took us green overall. So I'm thinking, okay, we're now green. We can make a comeback here if possible. And then it started to. So I will actually zoom out so we can actually see the rest of this move here. So see what actually happened here. And just after 1 p.m., we got this pullback. Consolidation period, and then it started to move up. First we got in here for this pop up, and we took some profits, and then we got stopped out on the way back down because we were using trailing stops, and then when it started to make new highs here, we got in and we rolled this all the way up. We rolled this all the way up to the highs. It was mental. It really was. We ended up 27,000 up on the day with Pagaya alone. So it was a great move. Now we did get a little bit of a pullback, and we got in here, and we got out at the top here as well, and then we got stopped out in trailing stops. We waited for another candle to make a new high, which was here, and we got faked out. We lost a little bit there, and that was the last trade. So we thought, okay, we've made our money. But 27,000 up on the day with Pagaya more than covered the losses. We did go in with some decent size. We went in with between 5,000 and 10,000 shares on the way up. To make the 8,000 back at the end of the first stream, I was up at 25,000 shares at one stage in blocks of 5,000. and then we actually slowly exited. The problem is that with a stock like this, you can't just unload 25,000 because you will, and that's what actually happened here. So I'll zoom back in here. So if we go back to just after 11, see this candle here, as it moved up, I started unloading shares here. And I'm not saying that I'm the only one. I'm not saying that I crashed the price action by unloading 25,000 shares here, because I did it in blocks of 5,000. But it does impact the market. The fact that I was unloading 5,000, I dare say there was a few other people unloading similar amounts, but my 5,000 going through would have snowballed. People have noticed that 5,000 shares on a stock that's got this kind of liquidity. People have noticed that and unloaded theirs, and you get that bang run mentality. So as this was moving up, and then we reached the we broke $13. I started unloading, and we got to the quarter dollar. I was unloading more, and that's what really pushed this price action down. I'm not saying I was the one that pushed the price action down, but I dare say I contributed to it. 25,000 shares in a very short space of time is a lot of shares to unload with minimal effect. And I don't think the liquidity on this particular stock was sufficient to absorb that without impact. But you know, that does happen. So from a red position to a green position on the day, for me, absolute win. Am I happy with my trading? No. So I've got mixed feelings. I'm happy with my gains, happy with the day's results, or ecstatic with the day's results. But that's more from luck that we had a parabolic stock that moved up over 100% on the day, that we could get, recover our losses on, than me trading well. And I've got to be able to be critical of my own trading. I've got to be able to look at what I was doing wrong, and I know exactly what I did wrong every single time. I will be reviewing it again in the morning to make sure that I'm in the right frame of mind to trade tomorrow. So 90 minutes before the market opens, I've already said, come join me there, and let's see if I have learned from my mistakes today. And I'll say I was lucky to get away with it today. Tomorrow, if I do the same, I probably won't be as lucky. So let's see what happens if I learn my lesson and I trade better tomorrow. Come join me. I'll see you there.